Hey everyone, I am Samantha Pate with Homesteadish NC, and I am going live on our podcast platform for spiritual gardening. There were quite a few announcements that I wanted to make, and so I wanted to come up here and just go ahead and speak on them and just tell you a little bit about everything that's going on. I apologize. I have been late the past couple weeks on getting podcasts up, and last week we had terrible weather, so it didn't go up at all last week, and this week I was a little bit late getting it uploaded. And I wanted to go live tonight because I wanted to just tell you a little bit about Homesteadish NC and who we are and what we're trying to accomplish, and just, you know, where my heart is on all of this and what I'm trying to do and what I feel led to do. So I want to start out by saying, if you've gone to our website recently and you notice that it's down, it is currently down, but you can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, all at Homesteadish NC. Or if you want to reach out to us, you can go to homesteadishnc@gmail.com and you can send us a message. We would love to hear from you. I want to mention that something that I feel 100% led to do is, if you're going through something in your life, or if you know someone that needs prayer, please email me. Please message me on one of the platforms. I would love to pray for you, or for your loved one, or for whatever situation you're going through. Even if it's an unspoken prayer request, but you want someone to say something to God, to pray to God. I believe that when two or more come together and they are praying for the same thing, that God is there. God is showing up. God is showing out in our lives, and I believe it 100%. And if there's something that I can do, and I may not be able to help in many different ways, but one thing that I know that I can do is I can pray. There is power in prayer, and when I pray, I go to God and I just lay it out all out on the table. And so I ask that, you know, if it's on your heart and you have something that you want prayed about or prayed over, please email me or message me on one of our platforms. I would love to pray for you. Another thing that I would like to mention is the fact that we do have quite a few things that we are working towards, but right now, this time of the year, on the gardening side of things, we're in a little bit of a lull in how much stuff and how much content we have. We were planning to have a fall and winter garden, and some things got in the way, and I have some things that are planted and growing right now, but for the most part, it's not as much, but we are prepping to be able to expand our garden area, and I have been deep in prayer about a potential community garden. So I'm very excited about where that is leading, and so I will keep everyone updated on that as well. We also have a chicken coop that we are working really hard on. I mentioned that in our last podcast. We're working hard on trying to get it together and get it situated to where hopefully come springtime we will have some chickens, and I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a major blessing. Another thing that we have going on right now that we're working really hard towards is I'm studying vermiculture and mycology right now, and on the vermiculture as well as aquaponics, I'm studying all three right now. And on the vermiculture side of things, we had set up our first official worm bin, and it's going fantastic. And we are in the process of hopefully within the next month or so being able to split our worm bins and have We're going to keep doing that and keep splitting the worm bins for a while until we get to a point where we feel comfortable with being able to sell bait worms as well as compost teas for your garden, as well as some worm castings to add into the garden. So we're really, really excited about just all of that that's going on. Right now our website is down. But like I said, I try to keep up to date on all the platforms, but I'm also a stay-at-home mom, and although that sounds like I don't do much, it sounds like I don't work, I actually I work harder now than I ever did back when I was in the middle of my career before having kids. I chose, or my husband and I sat down and we chose for me to be a stay-at-home mom. We felt that was very important, and I have found that they are exhausting and that it's so much fun, but a lot of the times, sometimes I have to rearrange my schedule for what I'm trying to do with Homesteadish NC because my kids come before that. So just bear with me. I promise that things will be uploaded and that we will get into the swing of things. Right now, they are at ages that are slightly difficult for us to accomplish some of the bigger things. So, like, sometimes I have to post podcasts at 9 p.m. just because you have to have quiet to be able to do a podcast. And if you've met my boys, they are not quiet. So I always have to find somewhere else to be. And so, of course, someone has to be watching the boys, which right now my husband's with them. And it's wild, but it's wonderful. When I dreamt years ago what my life would be like today, I never would have imagined it being the way that it is. But honestly, it's so much better than I could have ever dreamt of. I'm so grateful for where God is leading our family and what we are trying to do. And one thing about Homesteadish NC, and I did want to mention, because it's been really hard for people to submit nominations if our website is down. One thing that we do, and I believe wholeheartedly in doing, and I don't want to stop it, is on Tuesdays, we like posting a local business, and local only means North Carolina. So if you know of a North Carolina business that you would like to kind of shout out or have more people hear about, we would love to have you either email us and just put in the subject nomination for Tip Tuesday, and that will be us, tipping people off to some of the really awesome small local businesses in the state of North Carolina. It's something we're really passionate about because you guys, it's just so important to support local. Walmart and places like that, who cares? They don't. But there are businesses that are truly, genuinely trying to provide for their family, and they have something really amazing to offer. And it is so cool being able to partner up or just even visit some of these local businesses. They're just so awesome, and we get really excited to be able to share those with you all because I just feel like it's so important. Another thing along those lines that we do is Farm Feature Friday, and that's if you have a garden, or if you are a homesteader, or if you're like us and you're homesteadish, or if you are a full-fledged farm or homestead. Please message us. Let us please post you, or if you know of someone that you would love to shout out or you would like people to know about. It's just so important to support your local farmers. They do so much for our communities. As well as when you are supporting a local farmer, you know where your food's coming from. And believe it or not, that is way more important than you will ever know. And right now, meat is expensive everywhere. So if you're going to have to pay more for meat anyways, you might as well buy it local and know that it was raised humanely, it was loved, it was taken care of, and then it was sacrificed to feed families. And that, to me, I get where people come from with, not wanting to eat meats and things like that, but that to me is a very special thing, because you don't take it lightly. Killing an animal to feed your family it's a big deal, and it's very important, that sacrifice that they made. So yeah, anyways, that's just part of what we do at Homesteadish NC. And like I said, the businesses we do on Tip Tuesday, and the farms, we like to feature them on Farm Feature Friday. And we have our podcast on Thursdays, and I promise I will try to be sure it goes up at some point on Thursday. I'm not to a point in my life where I can set a time for that just yet, but so if you plan to watch or listen, check it out on Fridays. We are available on iHeartRadio, we are available on Spotify, on Apple Music, Google Podcast. We are also on YouTube, and I'm sure I'm missing some, but pretty much all platforms we are available for our podcast. As well as Spreaker, which is the platform that we use to record our podcast. So if you've enjoyed listening into our podcast, I have some things in the works for the coming year, and I want to do a podcast called Real Talk with Homesteadish NC, and I wanted to kind of go off of that, but I absolutely love doing the devotional style with spiritual gardening. I feel like that's so important, but I would love to be able to partner up with some different pastors and just different people from all walks of life here in the state of North Carolina. And if you'd be interested in, talking on a podcast with me and getting together, I would absolutely love that. I think that it's so important that we have some real talk occasionally, and that you get to hear the real side of things. And I'm still praying about what all that's going to entail. But if you're interested in anything like that, please, like I said, reach out, email us. And again, that's homesteadishnc@gmail.com. And you guys, I'm just so grateful for you all. And I've had so many reach out to me already and mention about the podcast and just some of the things that we're trying to do. And I'm going to be quite honest, as when I first started, I didn't feel qualified. I didn't feel adequate enough to be able to come before anybody. But then after I had prayed about all that I was trying to accomplish, I realized that the ultimate part of all of this is just the fact that I love God, and I love my community. I love the state of North Carolina, and yeah, I'm absolutely not qualified. I am at best an average gardener. I am not a perfect Christian. Those don't exist. If anyone ever tells you they are a perfect Christian, they're wrong. And I really did feel like I wasn't enough. But I have been reminded here lately so many different times that I am enough. And you are enough. So if there's something that you want to accomplish, do it. Go for it. I believe in you, and I know that there are many people out there that will support you in that, but there are also going to be people that don't support you. And that is something that I've had to be very mindful of, is the fact that a lot of people don't understand. Some people don't understand what you're trying to do. And if you go through life and everybody agrees with you, you're doing it wrong. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you are doing it right and you're doing it completely right, there are going to be people that don't agree. There are going to be people that don't want to see you win. They don't want to see